My friend, I do not speak of fantasy when I tell you this. I speak of a law, an eternal law, that governs all creation, and that law is consciousness. You see, everything you experience in this outer world is nothing more than a reflection, a mirror image of your inner speech, your inner assumptions, your inner state of being. That which you accept as true, that which you feel to be true, that and only that shall be made manifest. Now I come to you with something so simple, so deceptively simple, that the rational mind may scoff at it. But I tell you, if you would lay aside your disbelief, your skepticism, your concern with how things will unfold, and simply apply what I share with you, with sincerity, with belief, and above all with feeling, you will see before your eyes what the world would call a miracle. There are 3 words, yes, only 3, that when spoken with conviction, with belief, and with the assumption that they are true, can bring about the manifestation of anything your heart desires, even that which the world calls improbable, even the winning of the lottery. Now I do not mean to tease you, nor do I intend to build suspense for the sake of drama. I share these 3 words with you not as a magic spell, not as some mystical incantation, but as a vehicle through which you can activate the infinite creative power within yourself. These 3 words, when impressed upon the subconscious mind with faith and repetition, have the power to realign your world, to reshape your reality, to call forth from the unseen into the seen the fulfillment of your deepest wish. The words are this: it is done. You may wonder, how can these simple words, these 3 syllables, carry the weight of such power? I will tell you. These words do not derive their power from the letters they contain, but from the consciousness in which they are spoken. They are a declaration of completion, a statement that assumes the end, that rests in the fulfillment. It is done does not ask, it does not plead, it does not question, it knows. And herein lies the secret that the mystics and sages of all time have known. The end must be assumed. If you would manifest wealth, abundance, victory, if you would draw to yourself the winning numbers of the lottery, you must not dwell in the place of wanting. You must dwell in the place of already having. You must speak not as one who hopes, but as one who declares, it is done. Now I want you to understand something very important. The universe does not respond to your words alone. It responds to your feeling of being. If you say it is done but feel lack, worry, or desperation, you have not fulfilled the law. The words must be married to the state. You must speak them from the mountaintop of assumption, from the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I once knew a man who had played the lottery for years without success. He came to me, frustrated, bitter, convinced that some people were just lucky while others were not. But I asked him this: have you ever for one moment felt with certainty that you were already a winner? He paused, thought deeply, and admitted, no, I always hoped I would win. I dreamed about it. But deep down I doubted it could ever happen to me. There lies the problem. Hope is not faith. Wishing is not assuming. Dreaming is not knowing. And until the man could shift from desire to fulfillment, from longing to possession, he would continue to chase a shadow. So I gave him the words, it is done. I instructed him to find a quiet place, to enter the silence of his own being, and to repeat those words again and again, not robotically, not mechanically, but with feeling, with imagination. I told him to picture himself holding the winning ticket, to feel the excitement, the joy, the relief, the gratitude, as though it were already a part of his past. And as he did so, to seal the feeling with those 3 words, it is done. He did this for 7 days, not for hours on end, but for a few minutes each morning and evening. And he guarded his mental diet throughout the day. Whenever doubt arose, he did not entertain it. He simply returned to the state, repeated the phrase, and reaffirmed his inner knowing. And then it happened. He matched all the numbers. He won. He called me in disbelief, tears in his voice, and said, I can't believe it actually worked. I reminded him gently, it worked the moment you believed, the moment you accepted it as done. You see, the outer manifestation was simply the echo. The real victory occurred when he shifted his inner state, when he stopped begging life and started declaring life. Do you see now? You do not win the lottery by chance. You win it by consciousness, by aligning yourself with the version of you who already has what you desire. And you do this through feeling and repetition, through the steady assumption that it is already yours. You may say, but I don't feel it. How can I pretend to have something I don't? But here is the beauty of imagination. You do not need to pretend. You need only to enter the state, even for a moment, and feel as though it were true. You have done this many times in reverse. You have imagined the worst, feared it, and felt it as real. And what happened? It often came to pass, did it not? Why then would you doubt the power of imagining the best? Now let us turn again to these 3 words. It is done. Do not underestimate them. Use them as you would use a key to unlock a door. And that door leads to a world where all things are possible. When you wake in the morning, say them with the feeling that your desire has already come to pass. When doubt creeps in, say them with the firmness of one who knows that the outcome is already secured. When you visualize your desire, conclude your inner scene with those 3 words. Let them be the final punctuation mark upon your creation. And when you speak them not to the world, but to your deeper self, to your subconscious mind. For it is the subconscious that creates reality. The conscious mind suggests, the subconscious accepts and expresses. If you impress it with a feeling of success, of wealth, of fulfillment, and repeat it enough with belief, it must express it into your outer world. Let me tell you another story. There was a woman who longed to win the lottery to support her family. She was tired of struggle, tired of debt, tired of working multiple jobs just to survive. But instead of allowing bitterness to poison her spirit, she turned inward. She chose to live in the end. Every night before sleep, she would lie in bed and imagine her mother smiling with tears in her eyes, saying, "We are finally free. Thank you." She would feel the warmth of that embrace, the joy of liberation, and she would end the scene with the words, "It is done." 3 weeks passed. Nothing happened in the outer world, but she persisted in her assumption. She did not waver. And then, as suddenly as a bolt of lightning, she won. Not just a small amount, enough to transform her life completely. She didn't earn it in the way the world understands effort. She assumed it, and her assumption hardened into fact. I tell you, there is no limit to what you can manifest when you understand this principle. The only limit is your own disbelief. So I urge you now, take these words into your heart. Speak them as though you were speaking a sacred truth. And do not wait for evidence before you believe. Believe before the evidence appears. For belief is the cause and manifestation the effect. And do not think that you must do this for hours every day. A few minutes of pure assumption, of heartfelt belief, are more powerful than hours of desperate pleading. What matters is not the quantity but the quality of your inner work. You may write it on paper. It is done. You may whisper it as you walk. You may declare it before bed. But above all, you must feel it. You must believe it. You must live from it. For you are not a beggar hoping for crumbs from the table of fate. You are a creator, a divine being, made in the image of the Creator, with the same power to imagine, assume, and bring forth. This is not mere positive thinking. This is divine law, the law of assumption, and it cannot fail you, if you do not fail it. So I say again, the 3 secret words are simple. It is done. Use them well, use them wisely, and use them consistently. For when you do, you are stepping into the identity of the one who already has all that they desire. And once you do that, the lottery or anything else your heart desires must come, not by force, not by strain, but by the divine orchestration of life itself. Doors will open, numbers will align, circumstances will bend, for the world must mirror the state you occupy within. Repeat these words with love, with certainty, with inner quietness, and most of all with gratitude. For in gratitude you confirm the truth of what you have received. It is not arrogance to say it is done before the world sees it. It is faith, and faith when applied correctly always precedes the miracle. So now I leave you with this gift. Take it, practice it, honor it, and when you hold that ticket in your hand and see the numbers match, when your life changes in a moment, remember this truth. It was not the ticket, it was not the numbers, it was not luck, it was you, and it always will be. It is done, not in some distant future, not when conditions become favorable, not when all signs point to yes. No, it is done now, in this eternal moment, in the stillness of your own inner conviction. That is where the true winning occurs. That is where the treasure lies buried, not outside you, not in some external lottery draw, but within the vault of your own being. You may say, but I don't know how it will happen. And I will say to you, it is not your job to know how. Your task is not to orchestrate the method. Your task is to declare the end. The how belongs to the depths of consciousness, to the infinite intelligence of the universe, that knows precisely how to bring about the perfect series of events to fulfill your assumption. You are not the author of the mechanism, you are the chooser of the outcome. This is the key that so many miss. They try to figure it out. They worry over probabilities, calculate odds, and obsess over timing, and in doing so they fall right out of the state of the wish fulfilled. The moment you start to wonder when or how, you've already placed yourself back in the realm of doubt and separation. I urge you, do not concern yourself with what is not your domain. Your only domain is the inner world, the world of assumption, feeling and belief. Stay there, dwell there, rest there. You are not manifesting through effort, you are manifesting through identity. You win the lottery, not because of a number, but because you become the version of you who has already won. And that version speaks one thing, feels one thing, believes one thing. It is done. If you will take even 5 minutes each day to close your eyes and feel the thrill of the win, to walk into that version of reality with full presence, you will have done more than most do in a lifetime. And I promise you things will begin to move, not necessarily in ways you can predict, but they will move. People will show up, opportunities will appear, ideas will flash across your mind. Nudges will guide your action, but all of it, is the echo. The cause is the state you assume, the state you feed, the state you return to, over and over again, like a home you refuse to leave. There is nothing more powerful than sustained assumption. The world bends to it, reality yields before it, for the outer world is nothing but crystallized inner belief. I must repeat, do not say it is done, and then go about your day contradicting it in thought and feeling. Do not plant the seed and then dig it up to check if it's growing. Let the seed be protected from weeds of doubt. Water it with the feelings of already having. That is your role as the gardener of consciousness. Let me remind you, this phrase, it is done, has been spoken by the greats. Did not the Master say from the cross, it is finished? He was not referring to the suffering. He was declaring the completion of the vision, the fulfillment of a mission begun in spirit. That is what you do when you say, it is done. You speak as God would speak, for God calls those things which are not as though they were, not because they are false, but because in the realm of the unseen, they are already complete. Now I want you to try something. Tonight when you lie in bed, let your imagination carry you into the scene that would be true, if you had already won. Let it not be a vague wish, but a vivid reality. Feel the sheets beneath you, feel the joy in your chest, hear the sound of your own laughter as you realize, it happened. See the people you love celebrating with you, imagine your hand holding the check, see the balance in your bank account, let it be real. And once the feeling is alive in you, not a hope, but a knowing, simply whisper, it is done. Let that be the lullaby that rocks you to sleep. When you wake in the morning, let those be your first words, it is done. Say them not as a wish, but as a remembering, as though you already know what the world has yet to catch up to, as though the future is only a delayed echo of what you have already claimed within. Do this for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Do it for 21 days. Do it until it becomes your new identity, until the idea of not having it feels stranger than the idea of having it. That is when your reality must conform. There are no exceptions to this law. You may see delays, you may experience moments of doubt, but if you persist, if you hold fast to the end, if you remain loyal to the unseen image, it will take on flesh. It will appear in your world as surely as the sun rises. It may not arrive in the way you expect. It may come through a gift, a contest, an inheritance, or yes, even a lottery. But it will come, for reality has no choice but to obey the dominant assumption. Do not be tempted to share your vision prematurely. Do not cast your pearls before minds that do not understand. The moment you share your assumption with someone who ridicules or doubts, you risk contaminating the seed. Guard it. Keep it sacred. Speak only to those who understand, or better still,
Speak only to yourself, to the deeper self within, who knows all things and needs no convincing. This journey is not about convincing the world. It is about persuading yourself, about persuading your subconscious mind, that your desire is already yours, and repetition is the tool. Every repetition of the phrase, "it is done," is like hammering a nail deeper into the wood. Each time you say it, with feeling, with conviction, with inner silence, you are building a house, a temple, for the new reality to live in. What joy to live in that house, even before the world recognizes it. What peace to walk this earth knowing that you possess in consciousness what the world believes is still to come. That is true mastery. That is living by the law, not by appearances. So keep speaking these words. Keep assuming the end. Keep returning to the state. And above all, feel that it is real. Not someday, not maybe. Now. This moment. Because time is an illusion. There is only now. And in the now, all things are already yours. Do not ask if it is working. That question itself implies doubt. The seed you planted is working, even when you do not see the shoot break the soil. Your only task is to trust, to feel, to know. It is done, again and again, until you believe it, until you no longer have to repeat it, because it becomes your new state of being, a permanent dwelling in the land of the fulfilled. That is the real win. That is the true lottery. When you dwell there, not visit occasionally, but truly dwell, you become magnetic to everything that matches that internal frequency. Money, opportunity, favor, luck, they are no longer distant or difficult. They flow effortlessly, because you are now aligned with the energy of certainty. That is the vibration of it. It is done. It does not beg. It does not chase. It simply is. So let the world do what it will. Let circumstances swirl. Let appearances deceive others. But you remain firm. You remain still. You do not waver because you are not reacting to shadows. You are responding to the light that shines within. And in that light your reality is already written. Imagine walking into the store to buy a lottery ticket, and before your hand even reaches the slip, you say silently, "It is done," not out of desperation, not out of superstition, but out of total inner alignment. In that moment you are not hoping to win, you are merely selecting the method by which your win will appear. You are not questioning if you are the winner, you are choosing how that truth will unfold. Then you go about your day in peace, not because you're suppressing excitement or trying to be indifferent, but because the outcome no longer defines your state. You already have it, inwardly. So whether it appears in an hour, a day or a week, you remain rooted. You are no longer the seeker, you are the receiver. And receivers do not strain, they open, they accept, they say thank you before the gift arrives. This is why gratitude is so powerful. When paired with the phrase "it is done," gratitude becomes the fuel that powers the assumption, not the shallow gratitude of forced affirmation, but the deep natural thankfulness that flows from already having. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. That, my friend, is the voice of the one who knows. That is the voice of the winner. There is no magic in the ticket. The magic is in you. The magic is in your ability to claim, without needing proof, the reality of your choosing. You are the miracle. You are the secret. The numbers are just the medium through which your belief chooses to express. The more you practice this, the more you will begin to notice small confirmations. A lucky moment here, a sudden inspiration there. You might find yourself waking up with new confidence. You might notice synchronicities, repeating numbers, symbols, sudden signs. These are not coincidences. They are the reflections of your deepening belief. They are whispers from the universe. Yes, stay there. It is working. Now remember, repetition is the law of mind. What you impress over and over again on the subconscious will harden into fact. So say it often. Whisper it during the day. Breathe it silently while you walk. Let it be the background music of your being. It is done. And as you say it, do not speak as the one who wishes. Speak as the one who has. Let it come from your belly, not just your lips. Let it echo through your body. Let your cells hear it. Let every part of you hum with the vibration of already done. Because the subconscious mind doesn't respond to empty words. It responds to felt reality. When your inner state becomes indistinguishable from the external thing you desire, then the external world has no choice but to reflect it. This is not hope. This is not a game. This is not about luck. This is law, immutable, impartial and exact. The law of assumption will not fail you, unless you fail to persist. Do not measure by sight, measure by inner knowing. That is your compass. Even if days pass, even if the outer world appears unchanged, do not be fooled. The seed is alive, the roots are growing, the manifestation is on its way, but it cannot arrive if you abandon your post. Stay in the state, live from the end, declare it again. It is done. If the old story comes back, the doubt, the fear, the voice of lack, do not resist it. Simply return to the truth. Replace the lie with the phrase. You need no argument, no explanation, no defense, just 3 words, full of power, full of life. It is done. With these 3 words, you claim dominion over your life. You step into the creative power of your imagination. You stop waiting. You stop begging. You begin being. Being. That is the secret. Not trying, not forcing, but being the one who already has. And what would that version of you feel right now? What would they do? How would they walk? Speak, breathe, embody that version. Let that version take over. And as they move through you, speak their mantra. It is done. This is the silent command that bends reality. This is the spiritual signature of the fulfilled soul. It contains no begging, no hoping, no chasing, only stillness, knowing, peace, and from that place, miracles are born. So now, beloved, you are no longer in the realm of wishing, you are in the realm of being. You have been given the keys, you know the secret. Just 3 words, but when felt with unwavering conviction, they unlock the entire vault of abundance. It is done. These are not just words, they are a decree, a declaration to your subconscious and to the universe, that you no longer wait for miracles, you become them. Carry this truth with you. Speak it when doubt creeps in. Whisper it when fear tries to rise. Let it be the silent hum of your soul. As you go about your life, you are no longer a seeker, you are a creator, and all of creation bends to the one who knows they already possess. Remember this, your inner speech, your inner feeling, your assumption. These are the architects of your world. The lottery, the wealth, the success, they are simply reflections of what you have dared to believe. So believe greatly, assume boldly, and repeat these words until the world reflects them back in undeniable form. It is done. It is done. It is done. Now go, and live from that truth, and watch as the universe rushes to prove you right.